I know it seems scary, but you really are powerful enough to get this done and to go through it. But it just takes a lot of courage, and that's the difference between you and everyone else that is above you. You know.
It is Ryan Fowler here with
So, guys, I'm Daniel Molina.
Daniel Molina. And Daniel, you were a member of, just tell us how you found me.
Yeah, I found you through John's Masculine Empowering Network. I was following him on YouTube. I still am, and I watch his content. And then, I joined his program to become, a more high value man, empowered man, to change my life. And so when I joined the network, I really didn't know who I was going to meet and what I was going to accomplish. But you were there, and then you were talking about hypnosis and the effects of it, and how the trauma really holds guys back. And so
Yeah.
that really appealed to me, because I knew on some level of consciousness like that I was suffering from trauma, and I just didn't know how to get rid of it or how to handle it.
Yeah.
So when you were the expertise and you spoke confidently about it, I was okay. I need to talk to you, and so I reached out. And
That was what was that, about a year ago now?
about a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what I'd love for you to explain to guys is maybe, only share what you're comfortable sharing, of course, because I know a lot of what I go into with guys is personal. And a lot of guys struggle with shit and they don't even realize how many other people struggle with it. But so can you maybe talk about any progress, improvements you noticed after the first session, second session, and then we want to talk about the self-hypnosis audios and how those impacted you. So whatever you feel comfortable sharing after the first session, how that worked and how that helped.
Sure. So when I reached out to you, I was already kind of going through therapy, but talk therapy.
Yeah,
And I just
psychologist on the couch, right?
yeah, on the couch kind of thing. But also, I didn't say this before, but I knew that you were going to be really impactful in my life because I had done other kinds of therapies in the past, like EMDR, and that was something that really helped me out for a moment in my life, which is almost kind of similar to what you do. Might be a little less intense, because hypnosis is I found to be very powerful, and so that's what I knew.
First session,
Huh?
How intense was your first session?
It was intense. It was kind of just what I expected, but a little bit more intense. I didn't think it was gonna be like that, but I knew that it was gonna be a little emotional in how it was.
Mind sharing how that trauma made you struggle day to day?
Sure. It kept me struggling because I would always be internally focused on that issue, rather than being in the moment and just living life to my fullest and being, I would always be looking inward, using all my energy to mask my pain and keep me from, crying on the street or lashing out during interactions or things like that. So all my energy was just focused on like suppress this. Rather than just being.
Were you tired a lot? Just all the energy tied up.
Yeah, I was always tired. I never had like zest for life. At a certain point, I just lost it. You know what I mean? At a certain point, you just kind of go like lethargic, and you're like, I don't even care. Things started to lose their newness. There's so many things in the world that I haven't that were new to me, but I just didn't care. It didn't have an impact on me
What about anxiety?
Oh, anxiety? Yeah, no, anxiety. I couldn't handle confrontations or anything that involved yelling or standing up for myself or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always was closed in. I would just shrivel up, be quiet, because that's part of my conditioning growing up, was like, shut up and know your place kind of thing. So I would never know how to set boundaries. I would always just shrivel up, be quiet, I thought low of myself. I have a lot of negative self-talk as well.
Yeah,
You know,
and no boundaries means if people bullied you, would you give in or how would you react to that?
I would give in.
Taking
I,
advantage of you or no?
yeah, yep. I would give in knowing that I was being bullied and that I should stand up for myself, but I just I didn't have the strength
And what
to.
about like approach anxiety with women? Was that an issue?
That was a huge issue.
Okay.
That was a huge issue. I mean, I would shoot my shot every 200-300 girls that I would meet or something. You know, instead of now it's like one in every 50, 75. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah. So like that's a huge development in my life. You know, like sometimes
Five,
now.
6 times as much. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'm having a conversation with girls. I just go up to them, and when I'm done, I'm like, "Holy crap! Did I just do that?" You know, and it's awesome.
Well, after the first session, were things different? And if so, how were they different?
Sure. Things were different. As far as the immediate factor, as far as how I felt, like remember when you carrying all this trauma, it's like a weighted bag. So in terms of how you feel a lot more relief. You
Was it
know,
like
you don't feel
a really subtle difference or noticeable or how substantial was it?
the relief is noticeable, right? That's definitely noticeable. But the effects of the psychological changes that you go through because of releasing all the trauma, that takes a little bit to kind of get into because when you do that, you're cutting out all that trauma and the mindsets that go along with that, you know? So
Yeah.
before when I had all this trauma, I was like, I'm worthless. I don't have any value. I should shut up. As opposed to now, when you do that 6 months later, now you're like, no, you know what? I got a voice. I'm
Yeah.
empowered.
Fuck
You
yeah.
know, fuck
Fucking
it,
love
yeah.
that. Let me ask you, this difference, this relief you had from the one session, was that temporary or permanent or partially temporary, partially permanent? The
The
benefit,
relief that I had,
yeah, the relief and the
no,
benefit from the first session, did the trauma ever come back or was a big chunk of it gone forever or did part of it come back or
no, a big chunk of it was gone.
forever?
A big chunk of it, a big of it. Like I would say, yes, there's maybe some residual stuff there,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the same impact anymore.
It's my honor and pleasure to help you. We only got like a minute left. Anything final you want to tell any of the guys struggling or thinking of doing this?
Guys, if you're thinking about or struggling to do this, don't hesitate anymore. I know it seems scary, but you really are powerful enough to get this done and to go through it. But it just takes a lot of courage, and that's the difference between you and everyone else that is above you. You know, so just take the first step. Let Ryan, guide you, and then just do it every day. That's it.
Awesome, man. Daniel, you're a fucking rock star. I appreciate you, dude. I really do. Thank you for sharing this with the guys. It's gonna help them out a lot. I do appreciate it.
I
I
hope
got
it does. I really do.
I gotta go. I got an appointment, but honor and pleasure. Let's keep in touch, my man.
We will, man. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Take care. Bye.